All right, Bo, we're live. Let's get started with our coaching calls live here on the Jazz Takar podcast. So if you know you're supposed to be getting a call from me, make sure you have your phone on so you can get your question answered on the Jazz Takar podcast. And our first person that we're going to be giving a call to is Lovepreet.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Let's try this person one more time. And as I always mention, guys, if you want your 10-minute free coaching call with me, all you got to do is go to ftguacademy.com/call. But if you get the call set up, Mr. Lovepreet, how you doing?
Good, who is it?
It's Jazz Takar calling. You're live on the podcast.
Oh, hey, Mr. Jazz, how are you?
I'm amazing, man. Just living the dream. I know,
That's good.
I always teach people to call a second time because the first time sometimes you don't know who it is or whatever it may be. But I'm glad we got connected. How can I bring you value today, brother?
Perfect. Actually, I've been following you. Like one of my friends referred you, and it feels like I connect with the things. So but with you, actually, it's like one of the very main question I have for my career. I wanted to check with you to learn how to manage. Just before anything, I just want to introduce myself. Like I have my construction company for the last 10 years now, and that's how I got into real estate. And just wanted to see what will be your take, like if you have a construction company also on the side. I have a very good management team on that. I don't do much in that, but I want to bring value in my real estate career. That I have my construction company, and
how long? How long have you been licensed for, Lovepreet?
Since 3 years now.
3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're comfortable sharing, just so I can get more context and then I can make sure that I bring you value. In the last 3 years combined, how many transactions have you done approximately?
Transactions approximately, I can tell you the gross approximately maybe. First year was 160 something. The second was, so this is my third year going on. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So combined everything till now, if I would say, so around 250.
250 for the 3 years. Okay, so you're flirting
you
around about 75,000 on average every single year, and that's
approximately.
And from the sounds of it, that's you doing it pretty much part time, right? Because you're still managing your construction business, right?
Actually, I take care of some of the major sales in there.
Okay.
But this year, actually, full-fledgedly, I got into my, I joined Remax Gold.
Okay.
So the day when I joined that, I decided that I have to do it very properly and everything has to be, fully concentrated on real estate.
Well, look, I always say that, right? Whatever you give part-time effort to, you're generally going to get part-time results in that. And I don't mean that as a negative to anyone. I mean, some people are okay. I mean, I think there's, thousands of people who are going to be watching and listening to this and saying that to themselves that extra $75,000 a year. I mean, that's a pretty big game changer. I mean, we're talking about an extra $6,000 a month, right? So for starters, I mean, congratulations and kudos to you. Now, I know that you want to, from the sounds of it, you want to take it to the next level. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I see myself as a very big advantage that, I've been in industry for 10 years for the construction. I know in and out. We have worked with all the cities around GTA, right? We do get permits, do everything. So basically, I want to see what is your intake will be, how I can make it as an asset, for my construction company. Yep. That I can incorporate in advantage in my real estate.
Yeah, so
in your take, I want to see.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So here's my answer to you. I would make sure that you do consistent content, videos around all the stuff that you know when it comes to the construction side of things. And so the way that you have to start this and the mindset that you need to have is I want you tell everyone through a video a day. It doesn't need to be 10 minutes. It doesn't need to be 30 minutes. It doesn't even need to be 5 minutes. I'm talking about like 1 minute, okay? With the 10 years of experience that you have in the construction business, dealing with actual clients, dealing with tradespeople, dealing with the city, all the stuff that you just mentioned, right? All the experience that you have. I don't want you to just tell me that you have experience right now on this call. I want you to show me that you have the experience through the videos you do. And this is how this is going to help you, okay? But before I tell you exactly how it's going to help you, I need to just quickly go back to the mindset. The mindset has to be that you are going to give away all the trade secrets, meaning all the information, the behind the scenes stuff, all the things, all the mistakes you've seen people make, all the successes you've seen people make. You can even start telling people how to do their own construction. I want you to pretend that you are getting paid. Okay, here's the mindset now. This is tough for a lot of people. I've told this to, without any exaggeration, in the last year alone, I have told at least 5,000 people to do this strategy, and maybe 1 or 2 people have taken it on. I hope you're going to be different, and everybody who's watching or listening is one person takes this advice. I want you to pretend that you're getting paid to tell all the secrets about the construction business. Okay? Stick with me. This is how it's going to help you now. See, when people watch it, especially if you're teaching them how to do their own construction, they're going to think you want their construction business. But we're not doing it for that. What you're doing is you're getting awareness. You're getting people to watch you. You're getting people to learn from you. And before us in the public make a decision on who we're going to work with, we have to decide who we like. And if you're the one who's giving away all that information, now, you obviously have to have some talent and a little bit of charisma on the camera, but I'm going to pretend that you have this already. When people start to...
I tried a couple of...
There you go. Well, look, a couple is not enough. I need you to do, for the next 90 days, a video a day. Okay? Let me go back to how it's going to help you, brother, because that's the most important. When people watch you, they're also going to see in your profile on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok. And yes, I would advise that you get on all of them. Start with one of them for all I care right now. But you need to get to all of them because some people not everyone goes on Instagram. Some people only go on YouTube. Some people only go on TikTok. Some people only go on Facebook. Now, what happens is when they know you're the guy who's educating them, they're going to go into your profile and notice that, oh, this guy's with Remax. He must be a real estate agent. Okay? That's when they start to reach out to you with a private message and they say, hey, Lovepreet, like I appreciate the video that you did on how to you don't have to change your cabinets, you can just repaint them, for example, right? You can just do like some surface work. Here's how to even, if you're looking for getting someone to fix your hardwood flooring, make sure you ask these 3 questions to the person who's going to do your hardwood flooring. You know all these things, yes or no?
Right.
Great.
Right.
Okay.
That's
so
right.
What's going to happen is they're going to message you. They're going to message you and say to you, hey, like, I noticed you're a real estate agent. Like, are you taking on any clients? So Lovepreet, I'm not telling you this because I think, this might work. It's exactly what I did 5 years ago. So what I started to do 5 years ago, and I'm not sure who caught on to it or not, but I've spoken about it a million times, which is this. I just I didn't have anything else. Like I didn't have a construction business. I wasn't selling cars back then, right? And so what I did though is 5 years ago when I started doing videos, and you can go back, I like all my videos are still there. I started to teach people how to buy their own home by themselves. I taught people how to sell their own home by themselves. I told them exactly, like, when you're looking at an income property, make sure you do this, 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 and that. I never said to them, buy the income property with me, sell your house with me, buy your house with me. I never did any of that. But because I was telling people all the information. So look what I'm doing right now with you. I don't know how long you've been listening to my podcast, okay? Go back. This is episode 261, I believe, okay?
Okay.
go back, you'll notice that I always give away all the information because I know through what I did with my real estate business when I taught people how to buy, sell, and invest on their own. Not everyone. I would be lying to you if I said everyone. Most people who were then thinking about buying, selling, or investing, they reached out to me.
Oh, okay.
With my coaching business, I started this 2 years ago, okay? 2 years ago, zero. We call it from the ground up. And the reason we called it that, we could have called it anything. We could have called it, Orange Cup coaching. We called it from the ground up because you have to build it with the right foundation. Zero followers, zero coaching clients 2 years ago. We now have
2 years ago. Okay.
2 years ago, in the last 2 years, and I'm not saying this to impress you, buddy. It's more because I want you to understand that what the advice I just gave you, Lovepreet, will work. Not maybe. It will work if you have the talent. I want to make sure I say that again, okay? Because that's important, okay? Not that I'm the most talented person, but obviously I have a little bit of charisma. I'm comfortable in front of the camera. I can, do this on the podcast with you. 0 2 years ago to in the last 2 years, we've earned a little under $2 million in revenue, okay? All through social media. All through the same strategy, brother. Strategy being, I'm going to tell all the real estate agents everything I know. Now, most people would be like, whoa, but you charge for that. Why are you giving it away? Because they can find the information anyways, somewhere else. But when they actually want to do the job, when they actually want the job done of buying, selling, investing, or getting coached, I'm hoping they come back to the person, me, you in the example I gave you earlier, to the person who educated them and gave it away for free at the start. Okay? So your job, because your question to me was, how do I leverage what I've done in construction and use it as an asset?
Yeah, I believe I have so much knowledge, information.
So one thing, and I don't mean to cut you off, Lovepreet, but because I'm going to have to jump on my next call. I know, no, it's okay, buddy. What you said right there, I have so much knowledge. You believe you have so much knowledge. Show me. Show me on the camera. Show me on the camera. And I'm going to tell you something. People at your office, people at your home, family members, all that kind of stuff. Not all of them. Some of them are going to say, what are you doing? You're a real estate agent. Why are you telling everybody about the construction stuff? Because I want to educate people. And see, then you differentiate yourself from the other 77,000 agents in the area that we are in, the 126,000 in the country of Canada and the 1.6 million or 1.5 million in North America, because you're giving information and education and you're not asking for the business like every other real estate agent who's saying, I'm number one at the corner of Boverdin Airport. Like, come on.
I don't believe in that.
Well, no, like, how many number ones are there? And as the public, they don't give a shit. You know what they hear when they see number one? Fuck, you're making millions of dollars. You get what I mean, brother? So
no, I get it.
I will always coach through these kind of calls and obviously through my coaching company, through the experience and results I had. I'm not going to tell you stuff that might just maybe work. I'm testing it. If I'm testing it, I don't talk about it. What I just told you to do for the next 90 days, because two things are going to happen. You're going to get all those videos out. And while you get 90 videos out, you're going to get better. Don't worry about the first 26 videos. You're not going to be as good as your 82nd video. Okay? Every day,
and then
put a video out. Put a video out for 30 seconds for all I care. A minute and 10 seconds. You don't need to go more than 90 seconds. And give me a tip. If you're thinking about changing your floors, make sure the person that's going to be doing it, you ask them these two questions. That's it. No, call me at the end. Don't do any of that nonsense. Okay?
I got it.
Not for the first 90 videos. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for jumping on the call. I hope I brought you some value.
Yeah, surely. Just last question.
Yep.
Just after these 90 days, just assume that like we did, is it like I should it has to be consistent every day after that also, or we can?
What do you think? What do you think, Lovepreet? What do you think?
I think it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it should be.
Exactly.
If,
yeah. Do you eat every day?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
100%. Did you brush your teeth every day? If you brushed your teeth for 90 days and then brushed your teeth every other week, do you think you might have some problems with your teeth?
Got it.
Right?
No.
Same thing, brother. It's been 5 years nonstop for me. Why? Because the second I started making money and building awareness and building a brand and building a business and then I started hiring people, and like you'll get addicted to it, and in a very good way.
Yeah, it's just a matter of starting it.
That's it. Yeah, that's the hard. Shoot a video today and just put it up. Don't worry about the lighting. Don't worry about how your hair looks. Don't worry about if there's something stuck in your teeth. Don't worry. Just put the video up today, Lovepreet. 1, because then you only have 89 to go. You got to get to the 90, because then you can start to really say, okay, every time I shoot the video inside my house, it does better. Every time I start the video like this, it does better. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. Like, you got to get the data. You don't have any data right now. We need data. Okay.
No, got it.
90 days.
Perfect.
Have yourself the best week ever, brother. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye. Consistency matters, folks. Consistency matters. In fact, it's undefeated. If you do something over and over and over again, you will get better over time. Arnold, how you doing? You're live on the Jazz Takar podcast.
I'm sorry?
Arnold?
Yes.
How you doing? It's Jazz Takar. You're live on the Jazz Takar podcast for your 10-minute coaching call with me.
Okay. I'm driving now.
Okay. Did you want to ask me did you have a question lined up for me?
No, I'm not ready. I didn't expect that done.
That's fine. So what really quickly, what's going on in your business that I might be able to bring you some value, brother?
It's slow.
Business is slow?
Yes.
How long have you been in the business for?
10 years.
10 years? And is it just this year of 2024? Recently? Tell me a little bit about what's been going on this year.
Well, listings are taking longer to sell. Obviously, it's across GTA, so it is what it is. There's more days on the market. Buyers are on the fence right now, not sure and comfortable about what's going to happen. Some think there's a market crash, some think there's more interest cuts. Like, people are very, very confused. So it's harder to speak to a lot of them because they listen to much of the media and news, which, right?
Can I make a suggestion for you, Arnold? Because I agree
Sure.
with definitely your last statement. It's why 5 years ago, what I did is start my own media outlet. And I don't mean that from the perspective of trying to compete with, the CP24s and the CTV news and all them and CBC. And then, everybody has their own opinions on all these guys, the CNN and the Foxes of the world. But what I realized is that finally, 5 years ago, there was an opportunity for guys like Jazz and Arnold to now speak to the world and do a better job at controlling the narrative. Because no longer, which was the case before about 5-6 years ago, that I needed hundreds of millions of dollars to start my own broadcasting channel or to distribute my message. So 5 years ago, I came across the distribution channel, which was a podcast, but at the same time, obviously YouTube was around and short form videos on social media started to become a lot more prevalent. And if you notice, yes, a lot of people do listen to the mainstream media, but there's a lot less of them watching because the numbers speak for itself, which tells me that no matter what, the public's awareness has gone somewhere else. Because it's obviously not in newspapers, like hard newspapers. And where their awareness has gone is on 6 to 7 apps on the phone. Those 6 to 7 apps being podcasting, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. And so if I can make a suggestion for you that I think would definitely help with 10 years of experience in the business, you have a lot of stories to tell. You also have education, but most importantly, you have an opinion. And if you're not taking advantage of the era that we're sitting in right now, then, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, and it's not just for you, Arnold, it's for everybody who's watching and listening, that if you're not taking advantage of this era that we're in, then we cannot be upset at ourselves for the results that we're not getting for the work we're not doing. So what I would say to you, because I'm in the business as well, I field calls every day from my current clients, my past clients, prospects that are possibly thinking about buying, selling, investing, and just everyone in the public in general. And I understand the sentiment. However, we have been through a real estate market like this before. It just showed up a little differently, but values, the major thesis, values have gone down before. This is not the first time that we're going through it. Interest rates have increased before. Well, and as we sit right now in our country anyways, in Canada, we've seen 2 decreases of interest rates, and there's a very strong possibility in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, there'll be a third in a row of a decrease. Stateside, all indications are they're going to have a couple of rate cuts by the end of the year. And usually when the Americans cough or sneeze, we catch a cold. So that tells me that we'll probably start to see more. With all that information, you still have an opportunity, Arnold, to educate and inform your clients. Now, if you go about it, in my opinion, with the way of right now is still the best time to buy, you should buy 7 of them, you sound kind of like a salesperson who's really only worried about his pockets. Not to say that you're currently doing that, Arnold, but I would highly recommend you not going about it that way. What I would recommend that you do is show people what happened in the past when values went down, interest rates went up. In your exact location, 1 kilometer, 5 kilometer radius, in the city, in the province, in the country, because you have an opportunity to control the narrative. Otherwise, what will start to happen, and I see this a lot in my office, I hear about it a lot about it on social media. Most agents, real estate professionals, real estate agents and mortgage brokers, loan officers are being reactive and sitting back right now and waiting to see what happens. Where on the flip side, there is still a lot of agents. Yes, they're not necessarily making what they made at the height of the market in the last decade, which would probably safe to say be somewhere early 2022, 2021. But they're not only surviving, they're thriving. And so what I would ask you to do more consistently is put out your opinion and your narrative, because you can, in a smaller way, affect still the people that are around you and compete with some of the mainstream media, because not everyone is at the same rate watching mainstream media as they were a decade ago. Does that make sense to you, Arnold?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
What thoughts and or questions come up when I say that to you? What roadblocks do you see? What obstacles do you see? Maybe in the next 90 seconds, I can kind of help you and walk you through that.
Wow. I did started being more live on social media with more knowledge, just showing the knowledge that I have with a little reels of 30 seconds about certain topics. And I have noticed that my social media has picked up. There's more traction on it, more people looking into it. So I want to continue that road because I just started, not long ago. So I guess my question to you would be, where do you find those topics that you can share with the public about anything. Doesn't mean about just certain neighborhoods, because then I'm narrowing myself to only to the people who live in that neighborhood or that municipality. But I want to be more wider.
Yep. So a couple of things. Number one is in terms of data. I mean, obviously your local real estate board will give you that data. Okay. You can definitely Google other areas. So if you want to go more from a provincial perspective, a state perspective, a country perspective, that data is readily available. Right? A lot of it is actually public information. So you can find it through there. You can actually collaborate with other realtors. So let's just say you're in the Toronto area, but you wanted to speak to somebody about the market and what's going on in New York, or what's going on in California, what's going on in Vancouver, what's going on in Montreal. What I've done a lot of in the past is I just bring on a local realtor. Now you have to call or reach out on Instagram or Facebook to 3 of them to get one to say, yeah, I'm comfortable on camera. And what I would do is do a Zoom recording for 20 to 25 minutes. You don't have to do a short form reel. Okay, a short form piece of content, and I have a quick conversation. Like, I'm just curious, what's going on in your real estate market, Mr. New York agent? How have you are you seeing things change? Like you go through 2-3 questions with them. You take that recording. What I've done in the past is I went right across the nation here in Canada to all the provinces. And then I put all those videos together. It was all done on Zoom. It cost me $0, by the way. And then I put that out on YouTube, that file. I took the link from YouTube and sent it to my database. And I called it I'm trying to remember the name of it right now. It eludes me. But I used to call it taking a flight across Canada, something along those lines. Right. And we just did, I had all the agents do really the heavy lifting, because I don't know exactly boots to the ground what's going on in Timbuktu, Saskatchewan right now. I just don't know. Right. And so why not just bring somebody on from Saskatchewan? And that person actually, when they say yes and they're comfortable on camera, they're going to want to get some light action as well, right? Some camera time as well. And so now what you're starting to do for your network, when you email that YouTube link out, email that video out, you're starting to be looked at like an authority. You're being looked at as a news outlet, but not the news that's always spreading negative shit. And I'm also not telling you to always make it with a positive spin, just the facts. That's all we really want from the mainstream media, if you think about it, right? We're just like, give us the facts, not your left-leaning or your right-leaning shit. Like, give me the facts. I will decide for myself how I want to decipher it or take it in, or if I have more questions, but please give me the black and white facts. That's what I'm looking for. So knowing that that's what most people are looking for, the average person, right? Then now you know that you can actually control it by just giving people the facts and then letting them make the decision. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to convince someone who's just not liking the fact that you have to buy a property and rent it out and then deal with tenants, or like real estate is a good purchase. Maybe, people have their thoughts and opinions around. You're not going to convince anyone. All you can do is inform them, educate them, so they can make a quality decision themselves. And then I just go back to 2 things that I'm going to leave you with, Arnold. And it kind of is nicely wrapped in a bow for you based on what you said at the start, that it's a little slow. Because it's a little slow for me too. Slower than it's been in the past. However, I've always lived with this principle, which is the principles of plenty, which allow me to sort and not convince. I'm going to say that again. I've always lived with the principles of plenty, meaning I have a lot of people I'm talking to on a regular basis. That then allows me to just sort for the person who's ready, so I don't have to convince. Because I don't like trying to convince people. It's odd to me. It's a weird feeling. I don't like it. You don't generally win the war when you're trying to convince. You might win a battle, like going back and forth, but they're not going to just turn and change their mind on the spot. So what I would want you to do is have more people that you speak with. This way you don't have to try to convince them. Sounds good, Arnold?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Keep watching. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Guys, a lot of people lose out on that one, right? Like it's always about, I get a lot of questions on a regular basis, and Rohit, make sure you answer your phone if you're watching live right now. How do I convince, how do I become a better salesperson and convince people to buy? You're starting off on the wrong foot already. The best way to sell things is just have a lot of people, inform them, meet a lot of people, inform them and educate them. This way they can make their own decision, and you actually don't even have to go into convincing mode. And if you're driving in a car right now, I'm doing air quotes,
the voice mailbox
that you can easily just go right into sorting. Because see, I've come to realize in all the things I've sold in my life that some people will, some people won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Someone is waiting right now to buy, sell, or invest. We just haven't connected. And so the fact that we haven't connected is not on them, it's on me. Because that means I'm not doing a good enough job going out to enough people to try to connect with people to actually get a hold of them. And so what you want to do, and Guggen, you're up next, by the way, what you want to make sure that you do is consistently reach out to people. Guggen?
Hello?
Guggen?
Yes.
Hi, it's Jazz Takar. You're live on the Jazz Takar podcast for your coaching call, my man.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Just living the dream, brother. How you doing on this Friday morning in Toronto?
It's going good so far.
Good. What's your question today, Guggen?
Like, question about what?
Your question for your coaching call.
Like, as everyone, like, is it live on?
Yeah, you're live on the Jazz Takar podcast, brother.
Okay.
Don't worry, they don't see your face.
No, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, so basically the thing is, like how every new realtor, they're in the market, like everyone has same problem, right? Like they have some leads, but they are not able to convert it, like because they might not be very convincing, or they might not sound convincing to the lead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing, because, like even in the past I had few leads, but I wasn't able to convert it.
Where'd you get the leads from?
From my list, like, from contact list.
Okay.
Because I knew that.
Currently right now, how many active clients do you have? Active clients, and the definition of an active client to me is somebody who's listed and or someone who you're showing homes to.
Right now there is none.
Okay.
Because
that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Do you have any prospects that have said to you in the last 30 days that they want to start to look or list a property?
So for listing, there is none. There was one, but he had a tenant, which was like he is there living for another year. So the homeowner told me that he will reach me out again, like after a year. And to that, it's been like almost 5-6 months now.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm not counting on that. But for the buyer side, yeah, I had one.
Okay, perfect. And are you in this full time? Do you have another job? What's your current situation?
Right now, I can say I'm part-time.
Okay, perfect. 'Cause you have another full-time job.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, so in terms of what you're doing, even part-time right now in your business, what are you doing every single day to try to generate new business?
So, like I was doing, like I don't think I'm doing anything which is concrete.
Okay.
To be honest.
So we got to change that. So that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
What you need to do is not worry necessarily about trying to get somebody to buy, sell, or invest in terms of convincing them, because you don't even have a person yet. So let's just take a step back. What we need to do is get more people, because the more people that you have, then you're going to get better over time automatically. You're not having enough conversations. So here's the number I want you to flirt with, okay? Here's the number I want you to really get into your head, okay? Every day that you're going to be working, is it safe to say that you're going to be working in this business 5 days a week? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So Every day, you need to add 5 new people into your list.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the number, 5 new people. Now we have to answer the next question on how you're going to add those 5 people. I'm going to give you some suggestions. Okay? How to add 5 new people. Number 1, a very easy way is if you sit down, go into your social media and start messaging people in your local area that also need business. Let me explain. So the plumber is probably looking for new business. The electrician is looking for new business. The general contractor, the painter, the car salesman, the florist down the street, they're looking for new business. You're not calling them to ask if they want to buy or sell. I just need you to get into the habit right now because you have a part-time job. So you have some income coming in, but if you don't do something very soon, very, very soon, you're going to end up falling out of this business in real estate. I've seen it for 20 years. Okay? I know exactly what will happen because if you're not doing any deals, you're not going to end up paying the reinstatement fee that you have to pay because you're going to be like, it's not worth it. But if you do something differently as of today, your next 3 months can look differently. Now, you're not selling cameras or pens or phones that people generally make a decision pretty quickly on those things. This is a big ticket item you have. In terms of real estate, it's going to take a little time for you to meet people, get into conversations, show them houses, list their properties, find an income property, and then they actually do a deal and then you get paid. So that's why you have to start as soon as possible. You can call those people that I said, the painter, the electrician, the plumber, the general contractor, the florist, go meet the florist in the area. And you're going to say, hey, like I'm a newer realtor in this area, and I'm going to have clients who need the help of a plumber. I'm going to need a client who's going to need the help of a general contractor because that's just what comes up when I'm meeting with clients. Are you someone that's comfortable, Mr. Plumber, of taking on new business? He's going to say yes or no. He says no, move on to the next person. He says yes, you say great. Can I make sure that you will take care of any of my people that I sent to you? And I'm not looking for $1. I don't want a kickback. I don't want anything. I just need to make sure that you're going to take care of my clients. Are you comfortable with that, Mr. Plumber? Yes? Awesome. Okay. Can I get all your contact info? Because I'm going to make sure that now I start to send you some names and numbers of people who might need some plumbing work done in the future. In the meantime, I want to start to actually also put on events in the future where you, the plumber, can meet the florist and the florist can meet the general contractor. Is that like, are you comfortable with that? Like, I'm going to do this maybe, once or twice a year. And you come, it's going to be in person. Are you comfortable? Yes? Fantastic. Great. And then you call the electrician. Then you call the florist. So I need you to connect with 5 people a day. So that's one way. Another way, okay, is you need to start to do content now, and that's obviously been the theme of today's podcast with everyone that has been on the call with me today, is the fact that you're probably doing nothing on social media. Is that fair to say?
Right.
Okay, so we need to change that. You need to start to come up with ways of putting out content on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, on TikTok, all the platforms. Why? Because that's where people are.
Right.
Right? So if we need to add 5 new people a day, then that's where we got to go meet people. You cannot be what I call a secret agent. Meaning, like 007, James Bond, you can't be secret. You have to let people know that you are in the business, but there's ways of doing it that don't need to be sleazy. You're not going to go, unfortunately, I got to go to a funeral today. I'm not going to go to a funeral and start telling people about real estate and buy with me. That's creepy. Okay? Now, the way that you can do that, though, is bring value to other people. So the plumber, the electrician example I gave you, you're bringing them value because you're going to send them business at some point. On social media, if you're saying, buy with me because here's the reason I work very hard and I have integrity and I'm, going to be the best real estate agent. That's not value. That's all about you. Bring them value, which a couple of ways you can do that. You can entertain them. You can educate them. You can tell them the two biggest mistakes that home buyers make. If you don't know because you're a newer realtor, then go find out from a lawyer or do a 20-minute recording with a lawyer. And also you're going to add that lawyer to one of the 5 people that you meet. So if you don't have a lawyer that you're going to refer business to, I need you to go meet one. You might need to sit down with 5 lawyers because 4 of them are going to say, I don't want the business. I already have agents, yada, yada, yada. But the one is going to say, yeah, no problem. I'm down for this. I'm comfortable with it. And then you can sit down and do a recording with them. Hey, can we just talk about the 3 biggest mistakes that you notice, Mr. and Mrs. Lawyer, that home buyers make when they come to you? So then we can make sure that they're protected. And he's going to say yes. And then you do a 20-minute recording. And then you know how you already have a list that you told me that you got a couple of leads from?
Right.
When was the last time that you spoke to everybody on that list?
So with one I spoke last month, and the other one that's a prospect buyer.
No, I
talked to him.
Sorry, I mean people in your list. Like, when was the last time you spoke to everyone?
No, I don't even remember that.
Okay, exactly. So here's the third way. Now you're going to start to add names. Okay? Because I have a funny feeling there's people in your cell phone, right? That they don't even know you're a real estate agent. Going back to you being a secret agent. Right? So you need to now reach out to them and have a conversation with them. And this is the exact script that I give all my coaching clients. I want you to listen to it. Go back to this podcast on YouTube and listen to it until you're comfortable to do it but I don't need you to listen to this 1,000 times. Listen to it 2-3 times and then try it and screw it up. And then you're going to get better over time, just like everything else. You're going to call these.
To get some clue.
Pardon?
Trying to get some clues from it.
Okay. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to call everybody in your phone, everyone in your phone that is 18 plus and has a pulse. Why? Because if they're 18 plus and have a pulse, they probably know on average 200 other people. And so you're going to call them and say, Clyde, person in my phone, I'm just giving you a quick call because I was hoping to get your opinion on some of the marketing I'm going to be doing in the future, which is going to be through emails and events and social media. Are you comfortable doing that, Clyde, the person I'm calling on the phone? Yes? Yeah. I don't want anything. I just wanted to know if you're comfortable with doing that. Yes? Awesome. I don't have your email address, though. What is the best email address for you? Clyde@Clyde.com? Fantastic. I'm going to send you some emails a couple of times a month. We're not connected on social media. Can we get connected? Great. What's your handle? Okay, I just followed you. Do me a favor if you don't mind. Follow me back and then give me the feedback, the good, the bad, the ugly. And then I'm going to send you some invites to events that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to sit down with a lawyer. I'm going to sit down with a contractor. I'm going to sit down with a mortgage broker. And they're all free events, and it's all about education. If at any time, Clyde, the person I'm speaking to on the phone, if it gets to be too much, just unsubscribe. No hard feelings. You got to give them the permission to unsubscribe. Okay, so that call, okay, Guggen, is the call that you need to make to everybody in your phone. Now, I get it. It's going to be weird because somebody on your phone is going to be your aunt. It's going to be weird calling your aunt and saying that. But if you don't, then you can't be surprised that you're not getting any results, brother. You have to do the hard stuff. You have to get outside your comfort zone. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I know it's going to be uncomfortable calling your aunt. I know it's going to be it's going to be uncomfortable speaking to somebody that you haven't called in 6 years. I understand. But you know what you're going to notice, Guggen? That you're not going to faint. All the story's just in your head, brother. Like, oh my God, what are they gonna think of me? What if my aunt calls my mom and tells her that I'm calling her? Oh my God, what is the person from 6 years ago? They're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm so needy, and I'm so, like, oh my God, they're gonna know that I need help. Get rid of all that stuff. That's just a fake story in your head. You're actually gonna notice, brother, that 99% of people, not everyone, 99% of people are gonna be like, oh wow, man, sure. Yeah, I'm willing to give you my opinion. See, because what you're doing now is you're building a foundation of people who have given you permission to stay in touch with them that will possibly give you business in the next 3 months. Possibly give you business in the next 3 months, which is better than you doing nothing and guaranteeing no business for you. Like, I need to say that one more time for you. If you don't do this, you're guaranteeing yourself no business. If you do it, you have a high probability of having business in the next 3 months. I know it because this is what I coach on. I see it in front of my eyes with my agents. When they're doing this, they call 20 people. One person says, oh my God, I was just thinking about an income property. I needed to sell. And then they look at me, and I love it. It's nice. But they all look at me and they're like, oh my God, it worked. I'm like, yeah, because if you put in the work, it always works.
True.
The principles will always work if you put the principles to work. You gotta do this basic stuff I'm saying. Otherwise, you'll probably be a stat, which is the people that are leaving the business. Gagan, I appreciate you answering the call and being on the Jazz Tackar podcast. I hope I brought you some value.
For sure, yeah, it did. Thanks so much
Keep following.
For your time.
Keep following, brother. Take care.
You too.
Guys, I said it, right? Like, and I hope it really rings true to you, which is all the things I'm telling you to do, if you don't do them, you are guaranteeing yourself no business. Not everything I'm telling you is going to work right away. However, you're stacking the cards in your favor because you're doing multiple things. Yes, you got to get comfortable, and you got to understand that if you're in business for yourself, you have to do multiple things. Just putting out a video a day, like it's what I coach people on today on these calls. It's a great start, but just doing that is not enough. It's not enough. Because why do you deserve the business over all the other agents? They want the money too. They want the freedom too. They want the accolades too. Right? And so whoever generally does more gets more. It's why there's a top 1% and everyone else, because they do the work that 99% of people don't do. Can't wait to see you for the next episode. Have the best week ever.